Hello everyone, welcome back to this video. So in this video, we're going to create a Django application that is blog. Before creating our first application, let us understand the project structure of Django based web application. This diagram shows the structure of a general Django project where the applications are placed under the root folder, and this application can be reusable. That means the application that you created for one web application can be used on the another one. For example, you can use a shopping cart which is created for one application. You can use that shopping cart for other application. So Django project is a group of application which contains models, views, templates, URLs, and these applications interact with each other to create a fully functional website. So now let us create our first application using Django. So to create a first application, we have the utility script that is manage.py. We can run this command python manage.py start app, and the name of the application that we are going to create is blog. So you can run this command to create a first application that is blog. So let's create our first application. I'm inside the source folder where you can see manage.py. So let us run this manage.py to create our blog application. So here you can see that the virtual environment hasn't been activated. That's why this is the error. So let us activate our virtual environment. Let us create our first application blog. On running this command, you can see that our manage.py script created a blog folder. Let's go inside the blog folder and see these are the files that are generated by the manage.py for our blog application. The init.py indicates that this is the Python model. Admin.py is used to register our models to the Django admin. Apps.py is the application specific configuration file. Migration for the database. Models.py is used to define the business logic, that means our tables for a database. Test.py for testing our application, where we can write test, and views.py will work as a controller. That means it will accept the web request. So now we have created our first application using. So now it's time to define a database schema for the blog application. So the database schema will look like this. We will have the two tables. One will be the author and another one will be the post. The relationship between the author and the post is author can have 0 or more than one post. That means we have the one-to-many relationship, and these are the attributes or the columns that we will have in an author table. So this table is already created by the Django. We don't need to create this table, or we don't need to make a model for the author. But for the complex web application, we can define our custom model for the user, which we will see in the future video. And this is the post table that we are going to create. That means this is the post model. It will have the status, whether it is published or it is in the draft mode, and we will have the post title, slug for the beautiful URL, and the publish date. This is the publish date when the post was published, and this is the author ID. This post belongs to this author. This is the description of the post. This is the created date and the updated date. So overall, we have 0 to many relationship between the author and the post table. So let's jump and create the post model and the relationship between the author and post. So now it's time to write our first model, that is post. So to write a first model, we need a text editor or ID. So we are going to use Visual Studio Code. I have already installed that. If you haven't installed the Visual Studio Code, just you can go to the Visual Studio website and download and install it. It is very easy. So here is our project folder. Just double click on and just open the Visual Studio Code. Click on file and click on open folder. Just go to the desktop and just choose this folder, select folder, and the Visual Studio Code will open our project folder. As you can see, we have the source folder, we have the application folder blog, and this is our project model, my site. This is the database that is created when we run the python manage.py migrate. And this is our utility script, which is used to interact with our web application. And another thing is, when you open the project folder, our Visual Studio Code automatically activate our Python from our virtual environment. So let us write our first. So to write our first model, just go to the blog and models.py, and then let's write the database schema for the post. So class post, max length will be 255. For the slug, we will use the slug field. Author is the foreign key, so we'll need to use foreign key. Also foreign key, we need to use author. So there is a user model in Django which is built in, so we also need on delete. So when the author is deleted, we'll also delete all the post associated with that user, and the related name will be the posts, or you can also say the blog posts. So body will be the text field, publish date will be the publish, and it will be the date time field, and we will use default as a current date time zone dot now. So we need to import time zone as well. Let us import author as well. So let us create the created date, date time field. Auto now add will be true. When the new record is created, the date assigned to the created date will be that current date. Updated date, model start date time field, auto now true. Let us define meta. We will do the ordering using publish field in the descending order, and let us define the str magic function so that we can recognize this object easily. So this is our model. So this is the database table. We can also define the db table as words. So now let us register our application using in settings.py file, which is inside my site. So just go here and register the blog application using blog.apps.blog.config file, which is inside this file. You just use this blog config. The blog config class is the application specific configuration. So now let us run our migration. Let us first create a migration for our blog application. Just go to the source folder, Python, manage.py, click migration, and the name of an application, blog. As you can see, it created a migration file that is 00initial.py under the blog migration folder. You can verify that. So it says it automatically add the ID, column, title, slug, body. So using this migration file, it will generate the equivalent SQL query and run that SQL query against our database. So let's see what SQL query will be generated for this migration. To view the SQL query, we can use Python manage.py SQL migrate, the name of an application and the migration number, that is 001. So you can use this number. As you can see, this query will be created and run against our database. So it will create a table that is posts, which we define under the db table. So let's run this migration. To run this migration, what we can do is Python manage.py migrate, and this will create the table using the migration file. So let us verify the table. What I can do is you can install the SQLite viewer which is the extension for the Visual Studio Code, and you can run SQLite, open database, and you can see here SQLite Explorer here. Just click here and you can see all the tables of our application. So this is the posts table that we created using the migration file. It has the ID, which is the primary key, title, slug, that has maximum paragraph 255 maximum length. So this way we have successfully created a post table. We have also a foreign key. This is the author ID. So in the next video, we will create a super user, and then we will add our posts model to our Django administration site, and then we will create some post